Hey y'all, this is Christian Bradley listening to For the Warrior, and the high school, college, and NFL seasons are starting right now, and I want to take this time to reflect on the highlights and lowlights of where I was at this point in the year over the past 6 years. So let's get to work. 6 years ago, I was a freshman at Caledon University studying business administration and playing second string safety. I was just getting back from a game in Washington, wondering why I didn't play as much as I should have. It makes sense why we lost. 5 years ago, I was a sophomore starting at defensive end and experiencing some success and promise. However, I still wanted to play D1 football, and I had a choice to make. I could either stay where I was in security or risk that security, release myself from the team, never go back, and apply and get into USC and hope to make the team as a walk-on. 4 years ago, I just made the team and was getting practice. And on this one particular practice, I was doing a kickout drill with the center, and the whole energy of the situation was telling me that the coach wasn't going to let me stop until I lost. On the last play, took a step in, and everything started to go slow. My knee caved in. I sounded like a tree branch broke, and actually I tore my ACL. So I really couldn't believe that happened. I didn't even want to believe it. I got up and was hoping that my knee wasn't torn. I didn't think it was because it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would have if I tore my ACL. But at the end of the day, I knew. I sat on the sideline and cried. Was like, why? How did this happen? But because I was just so close and I just started. After that, I had to have surgery a month later, and actually 3 months later, I was actually cut from the team and had to rehab myself back to health. So 3 years ago, I was actually told by the team that they wouldn't have any walk-ons for the 2015 season and to come back in the spring. And that spring, I tried out again and made the team again. And I was actually doing well. Within a week or two, I was actually playing with the second string, and that was a big deal given how I wasn't on the field for about 2 years. So, and on this one practice, took a step, extended, and severely pulled my hamstring. I already knew what that meant. I knew I wasn't going to be there for that much longer. A few weeks after that, I was cut and was told by the coach that if another spot opens up, they'll contact me or to reach out to them. So 2 years ago was the start of the 2016 season, and actually a player in my position got suspended, and then after that, two other players got cut. Remembering what the coach told me before in terms of the spots being open, I went in the next day and asked about those open spots, and I was told those spots were actually already filled. So at that point, I was really thinking about like how in the world is that possible, given the fact that I went to the office the next day after. So at that point, I couldn't rely on getting my opportunity from the team, but actually creating my own opportunity. So I shifted my focus from joining the team to participating in USC Pro Day, and from there went from the coach's office to the compliance office to ask if that was possible, whether or not I'll be able to participate Pro Day without being a part of the team, and I was told yes. So at that point, I really felt relieved and decided to start training the next day until Pro Day. On the day of Pro Day, I was excited and just nervous because this is when everything culminated. I was also at peace because this was the time I knew that whatever happened here was supposed to happen. Went through all the drills and actually afterwards met all 32 teams, which was pretty crazy. After the Pro Day was finished, I remember God telling me as I walked off the field, it is finished. After Pro Day, I used a film I got from Pro Day to get an agent. I got an agent, and actually on the day of the draft, my contract was terminated. I still wanted to make last-ditch efforts to make the leagues. Went to two CFL tryouts, one in San Diego and one in Texas. But at that point, I was really exhausted, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, everything, and that reflected in my movement. So things fell through with that. And at that point, I remember the word God gave me, saying it is finished, and knew it was time for me to transition to another phase of my life. And 1 year ago, I actually started my first job out of college, which was recruiting, and I was excited about this new phase of my life. But just going through it, I just knew it wasn't a fit for me, so I decided to transition out of that. And that started a 6-month-long unemployment process. But not too shortly after that, the Warrior was born. About 2 months later, I was actually contacted by a nonprofit in education, which began a 2-month-long interview process, which I got, thankfully, and is where I'm at now. So that's my 6-year recap, and it's kind of crazy just looking back on it. I would have never thought I'd be at this place, but I can actually say that I'm at peace, and I'm really excited for this new phase of my life. But I want to tell you, if any part of my story resonated with you or is exactly where you're at, that there is life on the other side, and everything will work out for your good. So if you know anybody that has gone through this journey, share it with them. If it's where you're at right now, comment your experiences below. And if you want to hear more about my story and just follow this journey, just hit the subscribe button. So I look forward to sharing another video with you and seeing you next time. Let's get this work. Let's go.